The Jordan Football Association, also known as the JFA, has accused a goalkeeper.
Is there a picture, by the way?
Yeah, I'll show it to you. For the Iranian women's soccer team of being a man.
Okay.
Zohreh Kodai, 32, has since responded to the JFA's request for a gender verification check, is what they're asking.
Okay.
I will sue the Jordan FA. I am a woman. This is bullying from Jordan.
Okay.
The allegation came after Iran beat Jordan to qualify for its first ever Women's Asian Cup. Corday saved 2 penalties in the 4-2 shootout victory. A team manager for the Iranian team denied the gender allegations, said the Jordanian team was looking for an excuse for losing the match. Here is the woman. That's a dude.
No, let me see. I gotta see carefully.
That's a dude.
Because they've got the.
That's a dude. That's a dude.
Oh yeah,
that's. I mean, be honest.
Well, I mean, they're covered from head to toe.
That's a guy.
That's really interesting.
That's a guy.
I mean, I don't know.
I know they wear sports bras and stuff, so sometimes if you don't have
no,
boobs,
but that's not. This is just the features are really.
That is a dude.
Well, but did the keeper say that they were transgender and transitioning?
No, he just said I've been a woman my whole life. I'm always a woman. I've always been a woman.
Okay, well,
no transgender in there.
So sometimes, I mean, we've seen there are women with incredibly male features. Seen that? I mean, it's not. Look, listen. I'm not trying. But look, athletes, professional athletes, are physiological. Let's just call them anomalies. Most of them, right? There's this beautiful video that was done that showed the bodies of Olympic athletes from 1920 all the way through, and in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. The best Olympic athlete body was a very normal, not extreme. It was sort of like could do anything. And then they show it over time and all the specialization to the point where you got 6'7", you got Michael Phelps who's 6'5", but he's got 4-inch knees or legs. So NBA players, NFL players, they sit on the absolute edge. It's not even edge. They're abnormal physically. So I mean, this is pretty extreme, but I would call for a gender confirmation.
I think it's funny because the fact that you're asking for a gender identification because you lost is an insult. But if someone just asked you for a gender identification
that would also
test,
be an insult. If someone came to you and said,
you know what would be really funny? Is if someone called out LeBron James or some just as a joke. Hey, we want a gender identification because you played like a woman tonight.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. LeBron's not even playing
because is that an insult that this goalie is so good as a woman that they think that she's a man?
That's it. It is. I mean, that's what this goalie is saying. That's exactly what this goalie is saying.
Well, then take the damn test.
Well, but you can play it either way. So you could play it as, okay, all right.
The fact that she is willing to sue makes me think this is a man.
It's just, I mean, it's different cultures, but this is one of those ones where if you're transgender, then you state it. Oh, but I wonder if in Iranian culture, you get into some cultural issues here, dude.
In a letter dated November 5th, the JFA cited doubts of the eligibility of a participating player and claimed the Iranian women's team has a history with gender and doping issues.
Oh, now, remember the
German Olympic team?
Yeah,
dude, they were smoking everybody because they were so steroided up. It was unbelievable.
Oh, look, okay. Let me see that other picture. There's a picture of her or him in action.
Yeah,
large, pretty large.
Yeah. The president of the JFA addressed the letter in a tweet on Saturday, calling the allegations a very serious issue, if true.
Oh, yeah.
He also called the AFC to please wake up.
Is there another picture?
No, thank goodness.
This isn't it, dude. This is something that is not going away. We are going to have to figure out how to embrace this.
Iranian's coach told sports outlets that the team's medical staff has carefully examined each player on the national team in terms of hormones to avoid any problems in this regard. And so I could tell all fans not to worry. the 2022 AFC Women's Asian Cup
There you go.
in January.
So it's fine. They got the hormones. They're checking the parts.
We don't have those issues in this country.
Yes, we do.
No,
Not
we don't.
like,
no, but at the age of 16 or 17 or 18, we know whether you're a male or female.
No, well,
Now, we could transgender. We've had that issue in this country. But, I mean, this is like a 25-year-old. How the hell are they just finally coming up and saying, oh, we think you're a woman or think you're a man?
Yeah, I mean,
late.
particularly given their trajectory in sports. They didn't just join the team yesterday.
Well, they're fine as long as you're losing.
Yeah.
You can play a man at goalie all you want when you're losing. But when you start winning, you start beating our ass, then we have issues.
The thing is just, people are like, you wouldn't just put, that's just dumb.
Okay, so.
Would you just put a woman, would you just put a man in there? You wouldn't just put a man in there.
You got 17 seconds to give me some things. 17 minutes.
You
give me 17 minutes of things, normal, weird thoughts that we have that if we followed through on them, we talked about pedophilia earlier in the show, that if you've asked the question, and I think, you tell me if I'm wrong here, the question is, have you ever thought about suicide? Now, if you're at a therapist and you're having depression issues, and that question
if you're depressed,
carries a lot more weight. But I think I read something where the average person thinks about suicide. I think 75% of people said, yeah, at one point in time, I have thought about suicide. Not acting on it.
It's
not committing suicide,
right.
But have I actually thought about what this life would be if I took my own life?
Very well stated.
I've done it.
It's very common. I've done it. Yep.
And
sometimes after the show.
sometimes during
right
the show.
Sometimes
during the show.
Yes.
There are some times where, and obviously it's a wonderful life. It's going to be on TV coming up soon.
Yes.
If you want to see how your life coincides and plays into everyone else's life, and you think it's going to change your life, it's going to change the life of every person around you, and it would change history as we know it if you weren't here.
Yep.
So think about that when you unfortunately do that, and call the suicide prevention hotline if you're having issues.
Yes.
But that's a weird, normal thought that a lot of people would not admit that they have. I mentioned driving by the school the other day, and I saw all these girls coming out, and I was like, well, boo, and they had the plaid skirts on because as a Catholic boy, I was used to seeing girls in plaid skirts, and we always talked about the Catholic school girl, the blah,
I dated
blah, blah,
one
blah.
for years.
Exactly. So that's still something that kind of is a little ping, but I'm like, and we talked about this doctor, this associate professor at Old Dominion, who is now on administrative leave because he said that he's trying to change the stigmatism of the pedophile by calling them MAPs, which are minor attractive persons. And he got held back because he believes it's not a moralistic situation. They can't control themselves. And in a lot of cases, I believe that to be true. In some cases, I think it's hogwash, but every case is different. So do you have any ideas or any things?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, we talked about this in one of our old shows, urges. We did a whole show on urges. The urge to kill somebody or induce great bodily harm.
Yeah.
That's is very normal. You rarely acted upon it. And I'm not talking about just like push them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about take them out.
Yep.
So that's one. If you acted upon it, obviously it'd be a problem. There was another one. This is a harder one. Magic powers. It's pretty common to think for like a moment, what if I could elevate? Or I wonder if I could elevate that, or if I could walk through. I mean, some of this stuff is driven by the things we could see. What if I have, what it would be like to have superpower, super strength, those kinds of things. And the reason I say it goes through our mind is we actually consider it a possibility or a reality.
Yep.
I don't even know if this falls into it, is betrayal, to cheat on a partner.
I think, and I was thinking.
I mean, I don't know how it's not strange.
Yeah, I think for men, they can be as faithful as they possibly.
I think
can
women
be.
too, dude.
Well, I can only speak for men because I'm a man.
I'm telling you, women
not an Iranian
too.
Goalkeeper, but there is that thought of a good friend's wife or husband.
Yes,
and if they had ever approached you, there's this fantasy. The guys are idiots this way. There's always this fantasy that your best friend's wife is going to become attracted to you for some reason. I don't know why, because you got yourself a hot wife, and your best friend's wife is hot, and because we're so damn insecure.
Yes.
And it would make us feel good if she made a pass at you.
That's
and
right.
would you follow through on it?
That's right.
That's a slippery slope. That's a really slippery slope. We see
Stealing is another one.
Yeah.
Or you want me to get weirder, but stealing is another one.
Get as weird as you want.
Well, but those are, I mean, these are the common things that some people act on, but most of us think about them. We know them not to be right, but we think about them. So taking your own life or life without living, cheating on a spouse or a partner, sort of magical powers or special powers, stealing, committing great bodily harm to somebody.
I got a good one for you, and we throw this out because we throw this. What would it cost to take 20 years off your life?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of we fantasize about coming into a large sum of money that is done immorally, whether it's drug money, blood money, or anything else. We've seen people hide 55 balloons of cocaine in their stomachs because they get a $60,000 payday, and that's more they can make their entire life, and they're willing to take that risk. But I do think a lot of people, if someone said, I'll give you $100,000 to drive this semi, don't look in it and go to Atlanta and don't get pulled over and get your ass back over here, would people do it? And I know a lot of people, morally speaking, knowing that, say it's a drug full or a truck full of drugs. How many people right now for $100,000 would drive to Atlanta and back today?
Not me.
With a drug, well, you wouldn't obviously, and you're not, but I know a lot of people are desperate enough to think.
But that's not.
They think twice about it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't probably do it, but they think about it. They may pick up the phone. It changed their life. That's life-changing money for most people. What would you do for the right money? We see a lot of people, man. We see hit people all the time.
Yeah.
I'll give you $10,000 to take my wife out.
Yeah, there you go.
And they're not hitmen.
Right.
They're friends. How much?
$10,000.
Make it 15.
And throw in a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, money makes us
it's
do
usually,
really
I mean, the weird thoughts are usually sexual in nature, very often sexual or violent. I mean, I'm thinking about, they're all the things that we kind of repress.
Yeah.
Those are the most, I mean, and everybody's got different levels of creativity. I think there are also sort of just bodily ones, like, you've done something like, taking a whiz in the car, thinking about doing that. I was trying to think what else.
Everybody does that.
No, but see, that's not everybody does.
I just took a whiz in my driveway and my neighbor walked by.
Well, that was just because I was peeing. That's
I had to go and I only had 2 minutes.
We need to add
this is my place of work. If I want to pee in my front yard, I'll pee in my front yard.
We definitely want to bring that into Queer Eye.
Yeah.
He needs another bathroom.
I don't have any problems peeing in my yard. It saves 5 gallons of water every flush. It's ridiculous. If I take the dogs out, I'm peeing with the dogs. I pee more outside.
Really on the walk? Like while you're walking your dogs?
There's nobody around, yeah. I pee more outside than I do inside, period. There you go. I pee more outside than I do inside.
I wish I would have had that on video with the Queer Eye thing.
I peed outside 3 times today already.
They would build you like
why flush all that good toilet water when you just pee outside? Certainly if there's nobody here.
Oh, another one is weird thoughts like eating inanimate objects.
What about nude beaches? We talk about nude beaches.
But that's not now we're getting like sexual. That's not weird. See, like weird's like, I don't know.
There's some people that be kind of
sticking your finger up your butt. Like that's weird. Right? That's what I'm sticking things in you.
We talk about S&M. We talk about,
Yeah. Well, so you can go there. That's taboo. Oh, here's one. Sex. Because it happens.
Don't say it.
It doesn't happen.
Don't say animal husbandry.
No, I wasn't going there. I was getting close. Sexual attraction towards a sibling. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean a step sibling.
Yeah, that's.
You wanted me to go there.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. What
do you want to do with that, Tony Curry?
The problem with most of those is, it's like I can't look at my house like I'm going to buy a house.
No,
like I always wonder, gee, is this a nice house? I think it's a pretty decent house.
Not according to what I wrote for the Queer Eye thing.
Yeah, he works in his basement. It's a trailer park. So I was thinking, because we went through a process where I thought I was going to have to sell the house. Thank God I didn't have to do that. And my ex was super, and she worked with me on it. But I was writing down up against the lake.
Yep.
2, 3, 3, 4, whatever the hell it is.
Right.
It's got a studio. It's got all these. And boy, the write-up I had was like, this thing, man. If I saw this, I'd go, this is a killer.
Yeah.
But I know what it is.
So what is this? So this is why you're not attracted to your...
No, because when you're around something so much,
Yep.
you can't find the attraction in it. I can't look at my sister. I can have friends of mine go, "It's your sister's hot."
Okay.
And I go, "Okay, well, that's."
But now you're asking about. I'm saying not you.
When you're around someone so much, you can't tell whether they're attractive or not.
But it does. It can happen. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
So it can happen.
Now, cousins, we already had that show.
Well, the cousins is a whole different thing.
Dude, I'm all about cousins.
Cousins are different.
Because you don't
thing.
see your cousins, and you're like, "Who are you?" And you're like, "Can't. You're blood." And I'm like, "Whatever."
All the ones I'm going is weird sex stuff. I'm trying to think of like just weird like eating a plant or like.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this because I was trying to think of some religious things because we're talking about immorality and all that stuff. So I heard this. You're Jewish and your wife's Episcopalian, correct?
Yes.
And you celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah and
Coming
Jewish.
up, it's really early this year.
So I always think that's really interesting because whenever you meet somebody and you sit down, you start diving into, okay, how are we going to raise our children?
Right.
Where are we going to go to church? Who's going to do the finances? Are you going to work? Am I going to work? We're going to have babies, blah, 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 which is all these things you should do before you fall in love, by the way.
Otherwise, you'll get divorced.
If you had a Jewish wife and I was Catholic and I wanted us to be the same faith.
If I had a Jewish wife and you were
I was Catholic and I had a Jewish wife.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that we were all in the same boat.
Yeah, that becomes
because
an issue.
I don't want to be confusing.
Yeah, it becomes.
Can I become Jewish?
Yeah, you can convert. Anyone.
Even though I'm not born Jewish,
yeah.
I can be Jewish.
Yes. I don't know about extreme orthodoxy, but yes, you absolutely
Is that unorthodox then or orthodox?
No, I mean like the most Orthodox Jews, I think.
But I'm not Jewish.
No, I'm not saying you, but within Judaism.
Yeah.
The most extreme interpretation of Judaism among the Orthodox, I don't know where conversion sits. I don't know if they would say you just can't, but because you have to be born Jewish.
Yeah.
But other than the most extreme Orthodox, I know in every other, in the conservative, in fact, a lot of rabbis will tell you you're a better Jew, if you will, because you've chosen Judaism. You've chosen to become Jewish. And
if you're Jewish already.
No.
No, you can just choose Judaism.
I was born Jewish.
So it would mean more to me to become
because you are
of the Jewish faith. Jewish, when you say Jewish, you think of not so much the religion.
No, I'm talking about the religion. I mean, this is conversion. I mean, it works. Can you have Catholics? Can you convert to Catholicism?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I think you. Listen, let's just talk about politics of religion.
The Catholics are all ethnicities.
No, but so are Jews.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you got.
I always thought that. That's why I asked the question because I heard this.
Because you got Sephardic and you have Sephardic and Ashkenazi Jews. Ashkenazi Jews. So they're all the same religion. Judaism is the religion. Yeah. But you've got what we call Ashkenazi Jews. These are people who are Jewish from Eastern European. This is what most people used to. But then you have what's called Sephardic Judaism. Sephardic Jews. Same Judaism, same religion, but they're from the Mediterranean countries, including there's Jews in Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, of direct African descent. There are, Italian, Greek. So there is all of that. So you absolutely, so that's that. But you absolutely can convert. And in fact, a lot of spouses, I mean, my spouse didn't, but there's a lot of times one or the other converts one or the other ways. Yeah. There's a lot of Jews who become Catholic. Yeah. There are a lot of Catholics who become Jewish. Particularly the Jews and the Catholics, or particularly the Episcopalians, which I know that's not Catholic light, but you see...
Lutherans are Catholic light.
Well, you see Jews and Catholics, for whatever reason, is incredibly common to see a Catholic spouse and a Jewish
It is, yeah.
spouse. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the guilt thing that brings us together. I don't know if it's the...
Well, I mean, the fact that you throw in the Jewish aspects, obviously, of Jesus, and then you throw in the fact that
Oh, I'm ringing.
you are ringing. And then you can and then you consider it's your daughter. And then you consider the fact that Catholics are the Christian. Yeah,
Yes.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
So, are you
it's
thinking
an
about
extension.
becoming? You want me to become Catholic, or you think about becoming Jewish?
No, I would never
I hope
ask you to
everything's
change. I
okay,
would
yeah.
never ask you to.
No, and I wouldn't either.
Yeah. No, I think we're good that we're doing that.
Yes.